What if I told you that the most successful women you know, the ones running companies, leading teams, crushing their goals, are actually sabotaging themselves every single day? And what if the reason isn't lack of confidence, but something far more sinister happening inside their brains? Here's what nobody tells you. 75% of female executives feel like complete frauds at work. 3 out of 4 women at the top believe they don't deserve their success. But here's the kicker. Their brains are literally rewired to work against them. Let me guess your story. You got that promotion, but instead of celebrating, you spent the weekend Googling how to be a manager at 3 a.m. You prepare twice as much as your male colleagues for the same meeting, then apologize before sharing your brilliant ideas. When someone compliments your work, you immediately deflect, oh, I just got lucky, or it was really a team effort. Sound familiar? Here's what's happening. While you're busy doubting yourself, your male colleague, who's half as qualified, is asking for another raise. You're working 60-hour weeks to prove you belong, while he's playing golf on Tuesday afternoons. And the cruel irony? The research shows that women experiencing imposter syndrome are often the most competent people in the room. This isn't just hurting your career, it's rewiring your brain to expect failure. And every day you don't address this, you're literally programming yourself for self-destruction. The neuroscience behind this will blow your mind. When you have imposter syndrome, your brain literally changes structure. Scientists at the Brain First Institute found that your amygdala, that's your fear center, becomes hyperactive. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational decision-making, basically goes offline. A 2024 study published in ResearchGate found a robust positive association between imposter syndrome and self-sabotaging behavior. Translation? Your brain is actively working to prove itself right about your inadequacy. But here's where it gets really twisted. The KPMG Women's Leadership Study from 2023 revealed that 75% of female executives experience this, compared to just 58% of men. And get this, when men experience imposter syndrome, they avoid challenges. But women, we double down. We work harder, longer, more intensely, trying to prove we deserve to be there. Taonin, your stress hormone cortisol is constantly elevated. Your neural pathways are reinforcing self-doubt, and your brain's reward system is desensitized. You literally can't feel satisfaction from your achievements because your brain won't let you. The most shocking part? Research shows that winning awards, like an Oscar, actually makes imposter syndrome worse, not better. Lupita Nyong'o said it perfectly. I think winning an Oscar may have made it worse. Let me paint you 4 scenarios, and I want you to count how many feel like looking in a mirror. Scenario 1, the promotion panic. Sarah gets promoted to VP of marketing. Her first thought isn't celebration, it's terror. She thinks, they'll figure out I don't know what I'm doing. I need to work twice as hard so no one notices I'm not qualified. She starts staying until 9 p.m., redoing work that's already perfect, and declining speaking opportunities because someone else is more qualified. Meanwhile, her male counterpart, who got promoted the same day, is already planning his next move up the ladder and asked for additional resources within a week. Scenario 2, the meeting minimizer. Rachel spends 3 hours preparing for a 30-minute client presentation. She has backup slides for her backup slides. She rehearses in the mirror, but when she gets in the room, she starts with, I'm sorry, I might not have all the answers, but here's what I've put together. Her male colleague, Jake, he spent 10 minutes glancing at his notes and opened with, I'm excited to share our groundbreaking strategy. Same company, same education, same capabilities, but their brains are telling completely different stories. Scenario 3, the credit deflector. When Lisa's project wins company-wide recognition, she immediately says, oh, it was really the team, I just coordinated things. We got really lucky with the timing. She genuinely believes this. Her male peer, Mark, whose project performed slightly worse, tells everyone at the company happy hour, yeah, I drove that initiative from concept to execution. Really proud of what I accomplished there. Scenario 4, the expertise apology. Dr. Amanda is literally the world's leading expert on her topic. She has a PhD, 15 years of experience, and has published dozens of papers. But when she's introduced as our expert, she still says, well, I don't know if I'd call myself an expert, but I've done some work in this area. Meanwhile, there's Brad, with his bachelor's degree and 2 years of experience, confidently calls himself a thought leader in his LinkedIn bio. Here's what's happening psychologically on both sides. Women with imposter syndrome aren't just being humble, they're experiencing what researchers call chronic self-doubt syndrome. Their brains are literally scanning for evidence that they don't belong. Every small mistake gets magnified. Every success gets minimized. But here's what's happening on the other side too. Men aren't necessarily more confident. They're socialized to fake it until they make it. Their brains aren't wired to question their right to be there. Society taught them that confidence equals competence, even when it doesn't. Understanding this dynamic doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it explains why the imposters often rise while the actually competent people sabotage themselves. All right, here's the part where I'm going to be brutally honest with you, because someone needs to say what everyone else is tiptoeing around. The problem isn't that you lack confidence. The problem is that you've been conditioned to believe that your natural competence is somehow suspect, while male mediocrity gets celebrated as brilliance. But here's what you need to understand. Your imposter syndrome isn't a personality flaw. It's a neurological response to systematic bias, and that means it can be rewired. Step 1, the reality check. Start documenting your wins. Not for anyone else, but for your brain, every day. Write down one thing you accomplished. Your brain needs evidence to counteract the negative bias. This isn't touchy-feely nonsense. This is neuroplasticity in action. Step 2, the attribution shift. When something goes well, resist the urge to say, I got lucky. Instead, practice saying, I worked hard and it paid off. This literally creates new neural pathways. Your brain will fight you at first, but that's how you know it's working. Step 3, the competence claim. Here's the harsh truth moment. Stop asking for permission to take up space. When you're in that meeting, don't start with an apology. Start with authority. Based on my experience with a specific thing, here's what I recommend. Own your expertise, because nobody else will do it for you. Step 4, the systems recognition. Sometimes your imposter syndrome is actually your brain correctly identifying that you're in a toxic environment. And if you're constantly being undermined, gaslit, or held to different standards, that's not your brain being dramatic. That's your brain protecting you. Trust it. Here's what I need you to hear. You're not broken. The system is. But you can succeed within it once you understand the game being played. Look, if you've made it this far, something inside you knows you deserve better. And I'm going to keep telling you the truth about why brilliant women stay stuck and how to break free. Next week, I'm revealing the 3 psychological triggers that make successful women choose partners who dim their light, and why your dating patterns might be connected to your career self-sabotage. Trust me, the research will change how you see every relationship in your life. Subscribe if you're ready to stop apologizing for your brilliance and start owning it, because the world doesn't need another woman playing small. It needs you at full power. Comment enough below if you're done letting imposter syndrome run your life. And share this with that successful woman in your life who needs to hear that she's not crazy. She's just been programmed to doubt herself. Remember, the most competent people question themselves. The least competent people never do. Your self-doubt might just be proof that you're exactly where you need to be,